Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to use Microsoft Excel using some basic skills. Microsoft Excel is a software for organizing, storing and manipulating data using spreadsheets. Let's get started by launching Microsoft Excel. Maximize the window. Notice all these rectangular boxes. These are known as cells, and these are the columns labeled alphabetically. And on the left side of the window these are the row numbers 1, 2, 3 and so on. Each of these cells have an index ID value, which is displayed in the name box here on the top left. Like this cell has an index value B2. Hold left-click on the border of the column label and drag to resize the column width. Similarly, you can also change the width of the rows. Left-click on the cell to enter values. It can either be some text or you can put in numbers. You can change the font type and font size as well. Next I'm going to show you the merge cell function, through which you can combine multiple cells into a single cell. Select the cells which you want to merge and click on the merge function icon. These cells are now combined. Similarly, you can use the unmerge function to separate these cells. You can merge any number of cells. One of the most important functions in Microsoft Excel is the autofill function. Let's say that I have some text here, which I want to copy into other cells. To use the autofill function, click on the bottom right corner of the cell and drag it either vertically or horizontally, and so you see that this text was copied into all of these cells below. You can use autofill to copy this value into adjacent columns as well. You can also use autofill to copy data into multiple cells as well. Also, you can use the autofill function on numbers in a similar way. One important thing about the autofill function is that it can recognize sequence patterns. For example, if I only type in value 1 and use autofill to drag it down, it will just copy this value. However, if I put value 1 in the first cell and put value of 2 in the second cell and then use the autofill function, you will see that it automatically completes this sequence and gives numbers from 1 to 11 with the increment of 1. Next I will put value 2 in first cell and value 4 in second cell. Highlight both these cells and drag down clicking the bottom right corner. It will give numbers with an increment of 2. The autofill function can be used to complete other sequence as well, like date and month. So if I only type in January and then use autofill, it will automatically complete the list of the other months as well. Likewise, we can also use it into horizontal cells. Let's try and complete a sequence of dates. If I type in 1st March and then use autofill, it will automatically print out dates from 2nd March to 11th March. Next up I am going to show you how to use mathematical function in Microsoft Excel. I will just enter some numbers to perform calculations. Highlight these cells and then on the top right portion of the window you will see this icon with the summation symbol. Some of the most commonly used mathematical functions are listed here. If I click on sum, it will show the addition of all these numbers. You can also calculate the average of these numbers. This will give you the maximum value, which is 35 in this case. Also, there is this function to print the minimum value. You can also use the sort function to sort out these numbers, either from largest to smallest or from smallest to largest. One important thing about using a mathematical function in Excel is that the result is dynamic. If I calculate the sum of these numbers, and then change this value which I use to calculate the sum, you will see that the result is updated automatically without the need to call the function again. Okay, so now let's look at an example. I'm going to generate a multiplication table of 2. Select 3 columns and then add an outline border. Then I'm going to add a heading. Table of 2. Merge these cells. Then I'm going to format the cell with the predefined cell style to make the heading look distinct from the other content. Put in value of 2 in first column using autofill. This is a multiplier. Next, put in numbers from 1 to 10 in the second column. These will be the multiplicand. Now, an easy way to get the multiplication sequence of 2 is to simply put in 2 and 4 and use the autofill. But I'm not going to use autofill here. Instead, I'm going to generate this multiplication table by using a mathematical function which multiplies the values in these cells. For that, I'm going to need the index value of the cell containing the multiplier and multiplicand. Here I am taking the first element from each column B3 and C3. To add a mathematical function to cells, first click on the cell where you want the result, then click on the function icon labeled fx. Here you can see that there are a lot of functions available. For multiplication, select Maths and Trigonometry section and find the product function. The product function takes input from the cells referred by their index value. So I will put B3 and C3 and click OK. And there you have it. It displays 2, which is the result of the product of these 2 cells. Now, one amazing thing is that you can use the autofill function here and it will apply the same mathematical function on the other cells as well. Here you can see that it automatically takes the value from column B and column C and uses the product function to calculate the result. And so this multiplication table is complete. The result will be updated automatically if any of the input value changes. In the second example, let's say that we have to generate the examination result of students. I will use the autofill to enter the serial numbers. Student names will be student 1 to student 6. Then I'll just quickly enter the obtained marks for these subjects. Now first of all we need to calculate the total obtained marks for each student. For that, we can use the sum function to add these horizontal cells. We can continue doing the same for the other students, but it's better to just use the autofill to automatically apply the same function in these cells. Now we need to calculate the percentage for each student based on their obtained marks. Notice that the obtained marks for student 1 is present in the cell with index I8. We are going to use this index to call the product function. Highlight the cell and click on the function icon and then select the product function. Now apply the formula to calculate the percentage, that is cell I8 multiplied by 100 and then divided by 400, which is the maximum value of obtained marks. Once you have calculated the percentage for first student, then just drag down using the autofill to do the same for other students. Now in this last column we need to specify whether the student has passed or failed. For that I'm going to use a logical function this time. Click on the function icon and select the logical function category. And for this case we are going to use the if function. The percentage of the first student is present in the cell with index J8. So we will use that index value. Then I'm going to specify a condition based on which the function will determine whether to pass or fail the student. Let's say that if percentage is above 60 then display pass, otherwise display fail. Once again use the autofill function to fill in the other cells. Notice that where the percentage is below 60, it prints fail. Let's say that I want to organize this data some more. Select all these cells and click on the sort function and select custom sort. Here we can sort the values on the basis of a specific column. I'm going to use the percentage values of student and arrange them from largest to smallest. And here you see that our result has been sorted. And remember that these results are dynamic. So if I change the obtained marks for any subject, then result will automatically be updated. In this last part of this tutorial, I'm going to give you a quick overview of how you can use charts in Microsoft Excel. So consider this sample census data for town ABC. We have the months in which census was recorded. And we have population and percentage of children, adults and elders in town ABC. Let's say that we want to represent this information graphically using a chart. Highlight the columns which you want to use to make a chart, then click on the Insert tab. Here you will find the option to insert a chart to your spreadsheet. Select the type of chart you want to add. I'm going to use a 2D column chart. You see how it plots the values of the population column against the values in the date column into a column chart. Let's make another chart. For example, I want to show the percentage of children in town ABC with each census year. This time I'm going to add, let's say, a cylindrical chart. And so here is our second chart showing percentage of children with each census year. These charts are linked to the mathematical values in these cells. Therefore, if I change a value in the column which is used to plot this chart, then the chart will automatically be updated. Well, that's it from this tutorial. I hope you guys now have a good understanding on how to use Microsoft Excel. So thank you for watching.